Let's talk about one of your 5 Ps.
Yes.
Let's talk about the process
Yes.
of this. What strategy have you put in place to push your process to that point where the candidate you support gets to be elected?
Fantastic. As I speak to you, we're working on active voters registration. We are trying to, as I say, create active citizens. We're trying to get people who, thus far, have only spoken, but have not really voted, to register to vote. And in doing so, part of the education is to know that voting is not just a right, it's a duty. And it should be an educated duty. If I had my way, I would treat the voter's card like a driver's license. But then, I don't have my way. People should be educated to know that voting is a very delicate, important issue. When you register to vote, you need to understand what you're getting yourself into. You need to monitor it. At some point later this year, when we have our convention and we have our program, some of us are going to be sponsoring a paper on recalling public officers.
You have a convention coming up?
Yes, we have a convention coming up later this year.
When?
We're planning to have it around March, but it will be made public. We're planning it, and it's going to be a huge thing, because before then, we're consulting across the country. NIMA's presence in all the 36 local governments. In and Lagos, we have presence in all local governments in the state. We have dynamic people full of ideas. When you listen, when you read the people on NIM, you understand that Nigeria is like a big bottle full of diamond that is covered with wood. There is energy busting out there. There are people who can solve the problem of this country, but they're not just there. Those are the people we're trying to reach out to.
They are your members across the 36 states and local governments?
Absolutely.
How did they become members?
Technology. We don't need to go out to do rallies. We're reaching out to people. There's a campaign we're doing at the moment called 10 to 20. 1 to 20, sorry. Each person brings 20 people to NIM. They share the ideas, they talk about it, they have free access. They can call any one of us in the National Steering Committee. They can send us messages. They bring their ideas, they contest our ideas, and we discuss with them. We are trying to change the dynamics of this country and to put forth a new nation based on issues. So far, there are noises. We have not talked about names of candidates in NIM. We don't look at that. Let us look at the what. Then let us see who can embody that what better. You see, I've been saying this is an alternative force. We should understand very well the essence of the third force. There's an identity to it. The third force, as you all know, is an alternative to existing forces, the 2 current forces. Now, lazily in a shortened form, people tend to think we mean the third force is an alternative to APC and PDP. That's a lazy way to look at it. If you write that in my exam, I'll probably give you a 6 minus, because you have an idea, but you're not doing it very well. What the third force is in reality is an alternative to the current system, to the current legal system, which is a mix between APC and PDP. What is the difference between APC and PDP? People. If you take somebody out of PDP and put them in APC, they fit in easily. And if you do vice versa, I actually think sometimes I look at it and I think the big difference between APC and PDP is this. If you take Tinubu out of APC, it might as well be PDP.
But NIM is also people.
That's the difference. NIM is people guided together by ideas, program, clear policy. People are coming to NIM because these are the clear things they want done.
But you'll always have people coming from
of
either
course you're
APC
going to have,
or PDP.
They're going to come in because they're Nigerians. We're looking at Nigerians. But you see, the difference is they're coming because they're signing some cardinal points. That this is what I'm going to do. And mind you, now this is the big thing. Unlike before, they're also going to sign that if I don't do it by this time, then I agree that I've betrayed the issue.
How do you get your financing?
We're going to get our finance. We're going to finance with people. We're going to crowdfund. It sounds strange. It sounds new, but that is what we're going to do. Everybody signed up to NIM is going to finance NIM by themselves, so that we have a nation where nobody is so rich to be able to buy anybody, and nobody is so poor to have to sell themselves to anybody.
And you're so optimistic that crowdfunding will do the trick?
It will have to work. People have gone to the moon. We're still talking about little things. There are places in the world where the light is constant. They're not talking about improvement. I need to say this. I just hold on to it, but I didn't say this. The third force is an alternative to the legitimate or the legal political system. It's also an alternative to another current we're not looking at. It's an alternative to violence. It's an alternative to disintegration of the country. Because there are people who do not fit in into the legal system and they're taking up arms. There are people who do not fit in and are outside the system. So what we as a third force are saying is that let us get together and base it on issue and agree. And when you say what binds us, we agree that the cost of governance is too high.
And what if you don't agree?
Then you're not with us.
No, what if you don't agree? What is that one thing that, let's just say you bring up, someone brings up an idea about the processes and then there's an agreement in the rank and file. What happened? Would you disband, or is there a common factor that everybody's looking at to say, okay, for that purpose, we can all stay here?
There is more than one common factor. There
Which
are factors. There's reduction of public governance, cost of governance. There's a need to reorganize the country. To reorganize the country in a way that has to be fair, functional, and flexible. That should be people-oriented. I'll tell you what. Let me give you an example. I have been overruled by certain things. I'll say it in public because it's my personal position, but I know people don't buy it. If I had my way, we all agree on the cost of governance, but we disagree on some details. If I had my way, I would make a law in this country where the president of Nigeria should not earn more than the vice-chancellor. Put it at the same rate. Where members of the Legislative Assembly should not earn more than the principal of a federal government college. We have to state some very clear principles. And if you don't agree, then you're not with us. There are some people who say this country does not need restructuring. Fine. Democracy is about idea. It is not a sacred law. If there are more people who disagree with us, then they win. If Nigerians feel that they are fine with the current system, you say, luckily everybody in him has a job.